Hello guys, welcome to AppSheet and more. This is another video, and in this video we're going to be doing something very different. A lot of people find AppSheet UI to be very inadequate and feel it's very dull. But AppSheet UI gives you the possibility to do more. And in this video, I'm going to show you how possible you can actually make AppSheet UI go from something ordinary and dull to something great. So if you're excited, like I am, let's do this in AppSheet. Okay guys, let's get started. So in this video, I'm going to demonstrate how the app is going to look like, and I'm going to show you how you can create the app. So this is just the app we're going to look at creating. Over here, you can see the app with a very beautiful UI. This is supposed to be the home page. You have the hero section over here that shows a banner logo, and then you have a welcome message over here. So here I just have, hey there, welcome. This is conditional based on whether the person has recorded or has registered in the app or not. If the person has not registered in the app, you have this welcome message, hey there, welcome, and then you have the option to create a member account. Once they create an account, these two information, that's the welcome message and the link to create an account, will disappear, and you have new options available as a menu. So when you click here, when I click on this, it takes me to a form, right? So this is a form that allows the users to create a member account. So you have bio data and you have what student info. Okay, so over here we have dates. I'm going to just put any name over here. Let's just say Eva Adams. Date of birth, let's just make it today. Gender, let's say female. Contact, I'm just going to put some tickets here, right? Image, let's just take this image I have over here. Okay, country of residence, Ghana, nationality Ghanaian, employment status, let's say not employed, profession data analyst. Okay, and then it picks up your email automatically because I use the function user email, right? So that I don't have to make any mistakes whatsoever. But then I left it editable so the person can actually make any changes if they feel that's not the email they want to use, right? So student email, student info, year of admission. So let's say 95, course studied in the high school, that's business, class, let's say you were in the 3rd class, hall, let's say Alema. All right, so once you're done, all you need to do is click save. Once you click save, it brings you back to the home page, and guess what? Now you have new options. So now you have my profile. So over here, Eva, your whole, right? These are just information about you, so you can just set this up nicely, right? And then when you come here, my contributions, I already have some contributions recorded. I would add a new contribution just to demonstrate. So let me just change the date to the next day. Let's say March, amount, let's say 300, right? Let's save, and then you have that, right? So you can just record contributions, right? When you click on the home icon, you come back to the home page, right? You also have news posts. So these are news posts about my high school, Accra Academy wins, Vodafone icons, blah blah blah, right? You can go in and you can read information about the news updates about the school, right? So this is a simple application we've created. The goal over here is to create an interactive UI that's not boring, but that's beautiful, that's appealing, and that responds to inputs that users have made. So stick and stay and see how this is done in AppSheet. So like we always do, we're going to start off with a blank sheet, and I'm going to name this my members database. Okay, and then over here I'm going to name this sheet as my home page. Now, one thing about creating apps that I've realized is that the very first page or the very first sheet is going to create the very first UI, and that UI is what AppSheet is always going to bounce to whenever you refresh, whenever you sync, whenever anything drastic changes. AppSheet is always going to tend to bounce back to that particular UI, right? So it's very important that if you're going to create the view I want to create or the view I'm going to demonstrate, you always start off with the home page. Okay, so home page is going to be the first view. All right, so the first thing we're going to do is to create our columns, right? We'll need an ID column over here. Now let's take a look at the app again. Now in the app, we have an image over here. This is an image. So we're going to have an image column. That's the hero section. So I'm going to come here and then we're going to call this hero image. Okay. And then these ones are also going to be individual headers, right? Because this entire thing is basically a detail view. Okay. So this detail view has an image, okay, which is the main header, and then it has other headers. Okay. Now, the thing about this particular view is because we want to have these icons over here, these images or icons over here, we are going to make this a ref of another table. Okay, that is the only way we can get this. You know, with a ref, you can have an image and a text together representing representing a column or representing an item in a ref column. Okay, so what we're going to have over here, which is going to look weird, is we're going to have header 1, header 2, header 3, header 4, and so on and so forth, depending on the number of headers you think you need. Okay, so because we're going to have only one particular row for the home page, right, which is what's going to be the main home page, the ID doesn't necessarily have to be unique. It doesn't have anything special. I'm just going to put any text over there. I'm just going to put XXX over there. Okay, when I get into the app, I'm going to upload the hero image, and then for the various headers, I'm just going to put these placeholders over there, 1, 2, 3, 4. Again, I know it doesn't really make sense, but just bear with me. Now, the second sheet I'm going to need for this, right, is going to be the headers page. Okay, now in this page, I'm going to have header, name, and an image. Okay, so I'm going to have here 1, 2, 3, 4. Now this 1, 2, 3, 4 is going to be linked to these 1, 2, 3, 4. Right? It's going to be linked to this 1, 2, 3, 4. And then these are going to be the keys. So the labels are going to be the name and the image. So for example, the first one is going to be create a member account. The second one is going to be my profile. Okay, the third one is going to be my contributions. The last is going to be a news post. When I get into the app as well, I'm going to link images to these views or these particular columns as well. Okay, so for now, this is what we need to create our app. I'll come here. Okay, come to extensions, come to AppSheet, create an app. Okay, so our app is already ready, right? Customize our app. Okay, let me reduce this. So great. So we are in business. Okay, so once we have this in place, the next thing we're going to do is we're going to go to the data view. Okay, whenever you bring in data into AppSheet, the first thing you need to do is to set the column rights. Okay, so this is our key. These are our labels, doesn't really matter. We have header 1, header 2, header 3, header 4. Great. We'll bring in the next table, which is header. Okay, this is just going to be, so updates, no deletes, just updates, no add-ons. All right, so we have this in place. Okay, so we have the home page, and then we have what? The header table. Okay, now what we're going to do is let's first upload the images, and then we do the links, and then you actually appreciate how this is supposed to work. So I'm going to create another view for the header page. It's just a temporary view. This is it. We already have a view over here. So let's see. Middle. Okay. So we have create a member account, member contribution, profile, and posts. So I'm going to upload images over here. I think I took off the ability to edit this. So let's just come back here. Header, view data source. Oh no, not view data source. Edit this. Okay, updates. Yeah, updates. So it's not add. I wanted to do updates rather. All right, so let's save this. Okay, yes, now we have the edit button. Okay, so I'm going to upload images for each of these header. So I'll come to desktop, AppSheet and more, materials, Core Academy. These are my header images. Okay, so the first one is this. I'm going to upload this as my profile. Save this. Do the next one. So I'm going to do this as well. Header images for contribution. I'm using this. I'm going to open this. I'm going to save. Next one, my profile quickly. Oh, my profile has to be this. So meaning I made a mistake with my create an account. Fair enough. So create an account. So this is create an account. And the last one is news posts. So news posts, I have this over here for news posts. Okay. So we have these images over here, right? So now these are headers and these are the images. Okay. Now currently, when you come to the home page, okay, it doesn't look neat. It doesn't make any sense, right? But then what we're going to do is we're going to actually develop this view over here, take it from this to what you saw initially. Okay, so it's a detailed view we're going to use, right? But then because we wanted to have the images as well, that's why we're going through all this stress, right? So these numbers over here are going to reference these numbers over here and bring that label, that picture and name view that we are looking for. So over here, the ref is the key is the header, right? And then that's the numbers, and then the labels are the name and the image. So when we come to the home page, what we're going to do is we're going to make each of these what a ref. Okay, so we're going to come here and say this a ref. Okay, it was a ref to the header page. Simple as that, each of them. So ref to the header page, done. Ref, where are you? To the header page, done. And then here you go, ref to the header page, done. Okay, so now when you come back here, let's take a look at this now. Voila. Right, so instead of 1 2 3 4, you have what the name and the image over there, right? Simple trick. So I'm going to save this and let's see how our app is going to look afterwards. Then I told you earlier, okay, the very first home or the very first page that is created in AppSheet is always going to be the UI AppSheet going to bounce to if anything drastic happens. Okay, so that's why I'm going to modify this page into our home page. Okay, so I'm going to come here, views, home page here, and make this a detail view. Okay, so this is going to be my home page, right? So I'm going to take off the headers. So it's going to look something like this, right? And it's already taking shape, right? Great. And then I'm going to bring in my hero section image. Okay, so let's go to home page. Yeah, this is one. Yeah, this is the image I created. Okay, I'm going to save this. Yeah, so you have this over here. Good, and fits. Lovely, 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 lovely. Good. So now we have, oh, let me just save this. Fantastic. So we have our hero section, and then we have what our images. Now when you click on this, it just goes to the detail view, but that's fine. That's fine. We're almost there. Okay, we're almost there. So we have my profile as well. Okay, good. So what we're going to do now is we're going to take off the ID. We don't want the ID to show. Okay, so I'm just going to come to home page and say don't show ID, and it's already looking sweet. Okay, good. And then the next thing we're going to do is now what we need to do is to go and work on our various UIs, and then we're going to link them here. Okay, so I'm just going to do a few of them, show you how you can link them, and then you can learn from that. The next thing we need to do is to create our member form. Okay, so we need to create a table for our member form. So I'm going to come here, I'm going to add a new table, call this members. Now I'm going to bring in columns from another page. So I'm going to copy already existing columns from the other app and paste them here so that we can speed things up. So I'm going to come here, come to members, and I'm just going to copy these headers. We're going to use them here in our members table. So Control V. Good. So we have dates, we have first name, surname, date of birth, gender, and so on and so forth. Now you notice in my headers that I have 2 empty columns. Now these empty columns represent the tabs that you saw in my form, right? So we had a Google, so we had bio data, and then we have student info. Those 2 tabs are created by these empty columns. Okay, they are called show columns in AppSheet. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to come to the members database. I'm going to save this first and foremost, and then we're going to create the form. Okay, basically just the form and then the detail view for each member. So I'm going to click on this plus Google Sheets. I'll come to live demo Academy, select my sheets, save. Okay, and then I'm going to select the members table. So add table. So let's quickly work through this. So now you notice that empty columns, you have column 1 or empty here, column 14, right? Now these columns are just going to be basically show columns, right? So show, and this is show. And I'm going to show you how to add the section tabs to them. So for column 1, it's going to be a page header, and I'm going to set this to bio data. So students bio data basically, right? Now date is date. This is first name, surname, date of birth, gender. I'm going to set this to, now Accra Academy is an all boys school. Okay, so this is basically just male. So I'm going to do this as text. And I'm going to make the initial value male, right? Okay, now contacts is going to be phone. Okay, images, image, country of residence, text. Enum lists, employment status, I'm just going to leave as text for now. This is text. Email address, which use this formula, user email. Now what the user email formula does or function does, it basically picks the email of the user as the person is entering the data. Okay, so it just picks the email of the user, whoever is using the app as at that point. All right, email address, show again. Now this one is going to be also page header, but this one is going to be students info, right? So your info as a student, I think it would be better if I put this in quotations. And then we have, this is going to be an enum list, year of admission, an enum list. I'm just going to provide a few. So let's say 2000, 2001, and so on and so forth. Another way you can create an enum list is when you come to data validation, right? If you don't want to list everything, right, you can use lists like this, and then you have 2000, 2001, 2002, 2003, etc. Right, I'm going to paste a formula. I'm going to paste a list I use in the other app over here so as to make things simple and fast. So let me just paste that over here. So good. So we have this in place, and then I'm going to save this and done. Okay, so courses is also going to be an enum That's simple. I'm just going to list them out. So we have arts, we had business and school, we had science, we had general arts, and then we have visual arts. All right, so I'm going to save that as well. Class, what's the number? It was an it's an so let's say that's just going to list them. So 1, 2, 3. We had about at most 5 classes when I was in school. I don't know how many classes they have now. And then houses, also in school we had Alema, which is my hall, the best hall. We had Abulete, we had Hall Model, and we had Ellen Hall. The other halls like New Hall and Nash, but I don't care about those halls. All right, so I'm gonna save this. All right, so what did I do wrong? So you have admission. Okay, let me take these 2 out. But what did it say? Okay, so I have this formula over here. Just going to delete this. Save. Done. And save. All right, so let's see how this groups again. Fantastic. So now we have our members page or our members table set up. All we need to do is to set it up so that we can create our views. So come here and I'm going to create a new view. So I'm going to call this members table. Okay, so let's see how this looks like. So showing preview, members table plus. So we have bio data over here, and then we have next student info. Okay, so that's what we're talking about. Okay, so it's looking okay, but then we want to create tabs. Okay, so if you want the headers just like this, it's fine, but I want to create tabs. So I'm going to come down here, click on member form, okay, and then go up a bit and then set to tabs. So when you have tabs, you have a bio data and you have student info. So that is the whole essence of creating the show column, so that you can have something like this, which is actually elegant and takes your AppSheets to the next level. All right, so we have a date for filling, you have your name, surname, date of birth, you have your gender, which is male, you have contacts, image, so on and so forth, and then you have your information over here, course over here, your class, and your hall. Fantastic stuff. All right, so what we're going to do is, once you click on this create a member account, right, when you click on this, instead of bringing you here, what we want to happen is I should take you to the form we just looked at, right? So this form. Okay, now to create that link, we need a formula to link us to this view. The good thing about AppSheets is that they provide this formula for you, so you don't need to really think too much about this. When you go to every view at the behavior section, right, you're going to find app link, okay, that links to a view. So I'm just going to copy this, nice and easy. Come to actions, right, and the home page, because I'm creating this in home page, I'm going to create a new view, a new action. So I'm going to say go to member form, right, and then this is going to be a home page, and it says so go to another view within AppSheets. I'm just going to paste this formula here, right, and I'm just going to save, and then this is going to be inline. So inline means you want this to be affecting a particular column in that table. Prominent is what you have over here. It's going to show prominently on the view. Primary is going to show here on the side, bottom right, sorry. And then inline, you select which particular column you want it to affect. So in this case, I want it to affect header 1. So once I select header 1, you notice this icon over here. Okay, so once I click this icon, I come here, right? when I click this icon, I go to the detail view. So I'm going to take off this icon and leave this. But before that, let me just change the display. So I'm going to select arrow. I'll select a different kind of arrow. Yeah, this one is nicer. Okay, and I'm going to take this guy off. So I'm going to click on the edit pencil. So view ref, header 1. I'm going to hide. I can't delete it, so I'm just going to hide this for now. So now when I click this, I come here. So that's basically what we're going to do for every particular column over here. Okay, so when you click this, you get here, right? You fill the form. Okay, now the next thing we want to do is, once we fill the form, we want to create a profile for the user. Okay, so let's quickly fill this form. So I'm going to call myself Daniel. Surname is Owusu. Today is my date of birth. You can set parameters for that, but then for now, that's not what we're interested in. Let me just select an image. So downloads. Let's just use Eva's image. Okay. Place of residence, Ghana. Nationality, I'm Ghanaian. Okay. So employment status, I'm employed. We could have created an enum list for this, but then I want to save as a time. Let's say data analyst. Data analysts. Data analyst. Okay, so that's my email over there. Year of admission 1993. Course business student, class 3/3. Home Alema. Save. Okay, so that's what I said about AppSheet. Realize that every time I create something, every time I do anything, it bounces back to the home page. Okay, great. So once this is saved, all I need to do is now I need to create my profile. So when I click on this, it goes to the user's profile. So now what we want to do is when we click on member on my profile, it should give me the data I just entered as my data, right? As my profile, not the details I'm seeing over here. Okay, so we're going to create the view for my profile. Okay, so this members table, we're going to edit it a bit. Okay, so first we need to create a slice to show just my data, which I just entered. So I'm going to use slices to filter your data. So that's what I'm going to do. Create a new slice, call it members data. Okay, and then I'm going to create a new expression. Basically, the expression is going to say the user email should be equal to what? The email address. So the data where the user email is equal to email address is my data, and then I'm going to use that. So I'm going to save this. Okay, and then I'm going to click on. Now, if you don't want the user to delete their account, I advise you take off the delete icon, right? So they don't need to later go and hide it or delete it whatsoever. So I'm just going to click done. Okay, so now this is just my data. Okay, now this is a table. Okay, this is not a table, this is actually a card view. I'm going to set it to what? A detail view. So set this to a detail view, and voila, I have this. Now you can go on to do all sorts of editing and make it look clean and make it look the way you want to make it look. But for now, I'm just going to show you how to create this view and then link it up to the home page view. Fantastic. So now that we have this, what do? So basically we just come down here and then we're going to pick behavior. We're going to pick this link. Okay, copy this. You see that? Come here, right? And then we're going to make a duplicate of this. So duplicate this. So now this time go to members profile. Okay, and I'm just going to change this link to the one I copied. So members table, and then inline. So currently this is inline with header 1. I'm going to change this to header 2. Okay, and then click on this, right, and hide this. So quickly, I have what? My profile. You see that? And I have this. Okay, so let's save this. Fantastic. So you have create a member account and you have create a profile. I can go on to create my contribution as well. where you can click to record your contributions or your news posts, but it all basically follows the same idea. So you create a table, right? You have a column that if you want to restrict it to the members' data alone, you have a column that shows or that captures their email, and then you just want to user is equal to what? The email address. Okay, so then when you create a slice with that particular function, it's just going to show the user's data. For the last one, which is the news post, so for this section, the news post, this is news about what? The organization. So it doesn't have to be restricted to a particular user, right? Unless you want to make it very dynamic where you set a column that indicates who can see a particular news data set, right? But in this case, this is going for everybody, so you don't need to create a slice for this, right? So that's the idea. So now what we're going to do is we're going to actually kind of improve on this view. Okay, it's looking good, but then we want to make it much more dynamic. That's number one. And then we want to ensure that when the user is not in there, right, when the user has not created an account, all they see is create a member account, right? Once they create an account, then they see my profile, my contribution, and a news post. All right, so that's what we're going to do. So let's come to the home page now. I'm going to put an icon over here. So home. So this is my home page. Now the display name, okay, so because I don't want to display anything over there, I'm just going to put an empty parenthesis over there. So like this, then I don't have any display name, right? Very simple. Now this header column, I'm going to take it off. Let's make this a ref. Okay, so that all I have is this. Neat, fantastic. So now let's come to the home page. And the first thing I'm going to do is the home page is going to create a line break. Okay, so when you look at this home page, you see that between the hero section or the hero image and then where the menu starts, there's some sort of space. Now this is because I actually put out an empty column over there. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to come here, create a virtual column, and call this line break. Right now over here, it's going to have what? An empty parenthesis, and we're just going to save it. So line break. So when I come back to the view over here, come to menu, and I bring line break up. So let's just bring line break up here. You have some space over there, right? So that it doesn't look clustered at the top. Okay, so that's that. I'm just going to save this. Okay, now the next thing we're going to do is create our conditional welcome message. So go back to the table by clicking this icon, right? And then I'm going to click here to create a virtual column. I'm going to call welcome message. Right, so I'm going to do hello there, welcome. Right, and I'm going to save this. Done. Okay, so this is going to be my welcome message, and just like the line break, it's going to show up there. So I'll come to home page. Okay, and then I'm going to bring this. Where are you? Add welcome message. I'm going to bring it above the line break. So something like this. So hello there, welcome. Still a few things we need to do after creating a conditional column, and that is the formatting. Okay, so we need to format the conditional column. We need to format the headers as well. So we'll come to view over here, and the next thing we're going to do is first we're going to change the entire theme of the app. So we'll come to theme and brand, and currently this is the default theme for AppSheet, the medium blue, but I don't want this. So I'm going to paste the hex code for this particular color over here. Right, good. And then you can change the logo, launch image, and so on and so forth. But I'm just going to change the style here as well, so that the header and the footer has the same color as the hero section. So that way it blends in nicely. Good. Now the next thing we're going to do is now format these columns. So to format the columns, we use format rules. Click on this plus button and create new rule. Okay, so the first one is welcome image. Sorry, welcome header. Okay, and then I'm going to come to the welcome message. Okay, so I'm going to use the theme color to format this. So it's going to format this as a theme color. I'm going to put you can put any icon over there. I use this icon, so I'm just going to stick with it. And then I'm going to increase the size of the text a bit. Something like this. Yeah, 1.3 is fine. Okay, so this is hello there, welcome. And then I'm going to also format these headers. Now for the headers, the only formatting I'm doing is I'm going to increase the size of the images. Okay, so they look bigger in the home page. So I'm going to click here, plus, create a new format. Now for this, I'm going to increase image size. Now remember that the image can be found in the header page, right? The image is coming from the header table. So if we want to increase it, we have to come to the header table. So I'm going to select the images there. And I'll come to text format and I'm going to increase this. Now you see as I increase them, the images also increase, and then it fills in nicely. Okay, so we have that also done. I think I'm going to save this now. Great. So the next thing we're going to do is take off these action buttons. So take off the edit button and the delete button. We don't want this over here. So I'm going to click this. I'm going to say hide edit button and delete. I'm going to hide the delete button. Okay, so this looks it looks neat, it looks clean. Okay, so when you come here, click this, you have that. When you go back, you have this, my profile, lovely. Okay, so the next thing we want to do, which is the final thing basically, is to make this conditional, right? They only pop up when they are supposed to pop up. For instance, the hello there and the create a new account columns should pop up when the user has not created an account before. And then my profile, my contribution, news post should pop up when the user has already created an account, right? So how do we do this? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on this. Okay, it doesn't take me there. So let's come to the table. And then I'm going to say for header 1, I'm going to use a function in. So this function in gives us a true and false. It basically tests whether a value can be found in a list. So we're going to say user email can be found in the members email address. So it's basically checking if user email can be found in the members email address. So when I come to test, it says y, which is true. The current user's email can be found in the members email address list or column. Okay, now because this is the create a member account link, we want it to pop up when this is false. Do you get it? So if the person can be found in the list, then it should be a no. Don't show this column, right? If the person is not in the list, it should be a yes. So we basically want a reversal of whatever this function gives us. So we use not to reverse the answer. So not, it should be the opposite of whether the person is in the list or not. So not, and then you have in user email can be found in the email address column of the members table. I'm going to copy this function. I'm going to save. So that's header 1. Header 1 is create a member account. So I'm going to click that. And once I do that, you notice that that particular column no longer shows. All right. So the same thing goes for the welcome message. The same function. And pop this here. I'm going to click on save, done, and that's also gone. Fantastic. Now the next thing I need to do, okay, is to create the condition for these other 3 headers. For these 3 headers, they only show when the member is actually in the list. So I'm going to click here. This header 1. So for header 2, we're going to use the same function, but then we're going to take off what? The not. I'm going to save. Done. Same thing for header 3. Take away the not function. Save this. I should have copied it, shouldn't I? Yeah, I know. I'm going to take this one off. And I'm going to save. Okay, so click save here. Good. So when the new user logs in, let me click here and just say daniel@email.com, and I run this. What do I have? I have what? Create what? A member account. Then he comes here and he creates a member account. But then if I sync this up, and then it goes back or it resets to my email address, the default email address, right? Because this email address already has what? An account. It comes to what? Directly to what? My profile, my contribution, my post. When I click on my profile, I see my profile. If I create the view for my contribution, when I click here, I'll see what my contribution. When I click on news post, I'll see information about news post. So you see, with AppSheet, right, once you're actually able to understand how it works, you actually can apply that understanding to make your app go from a basic normal view to something much more beautiful and something much more appealing. So guys, this brings us to the end of the video. I know you enjoyed it like I did, and you can actually now tell that you don't really need to stick to the default views of AppSheet. You can be creative and create whatever you want to see in AppSheet. So thank you for joining me in this video, and I hope to see you in the next one. Thanks and take care.